Well, now, dear delegates, it's time to bring up a really serious topic: juggling. And yeah, what's that all about? Well, before I tell you, let me just once again say that this is a really cool book. I read it years ago, and I loved it then, and I love it now. Juggling is discussed on page 217 and page 218. It also has a lot about how mind mapping can help you kill it in your schoolwork. And if you want to see Michael, he will be autographing copies and chatting with you in section 114 during lunch. And speaking of Michael, and speaking of juggling, why don't we all just bring him and his assistants back out? You all have your balls out? Yes? Yes? All right, let's welcome back to the stage Michael and his assistants. Give it up. Have fun. Have fun.
All right. Yeah. All right. So Dr. Jain, brilliant presentation. He talked about discovering fundamental principles. And if you can get those fundamental principles, you can solve a lot of problems. Wouldn't it be cool to know the fundamental principles underlying the process of learning? Say yes. Yeah. So that's what we're going to learn. It looks like we're learning how to juggle, which we are, but we're going to use juggling as a metaphor for learning anything that you want to learn. Now, I first learned how to juggle many, many years ago. That's a picture of me when I lived in England and I was working as a professional juggler. I worked my way through graduate school as a juggler. I juggled with the Rolling Stones on stage in front of an audience even bigger than this. There were over 100,000 people there. It was a vast ocean of denim and hair. And I remember being on this big stage shaped like Mick Jagger's mouth. And I was right out on the tip of the tongue juggling in front of all these people. And then I juggled with Bob Dylan. And the real breakthrough, though, was using juggling. Please sit down, be comfortable if you like, or stand as you prefer. The real breakthrough was when I figured out the underlying principles of learning to juggle, and I realized that those were the underlying principles of learning anything at all. So are there things that you would like to learn? I mean, obviously you want to learn science, you want to learn math, you want to learn medicine. But remember we talked yesterday about the importance of STEAM and integrating the arts with the sciences. So maybe you'd always wanted to learn to play a musical instrument, or learn another language, or learn to dance, or learn to sing, or learn to do Kung Fu or Tai Chi, or something, whatever it is you've always wanted to learn. Wouldn't it be cool to know the fundamental principles of learning whatever it is you always wanted to learn, right? So we're going to learn those principles by learning how to juggle. But I have to tell you, my first juggling teacher wasn't really a master of these principles. He was a great juggler. I remember seeing him and I thought, that is so beautiful. It looks to me like moving sculpture. And I really wanted to learn, so I went up to him and I asked him to teach me. But you know what he told me? He said, take these 3 balls, throw them up, don't let any of them drop. Did you ever get an instruction like that in the course of your life so far? People say, well, try, but don't make any mistakes. So I tried, but what happened? I dropped them over and over and over again, and I felt like such a failure. I'll never get this, but I really, really, really wanted to learn. And then I had an epiphany. I had a breakthrough idea. I realized that instead of focusing on catching the balls? What if I focused instead on just tossing the balls to the same place every time? What if I focused instead on staying balanced and easy within myself? Well, all of a sudden, it was as though the balls were juggling themselves. So the secret, you're going to be doing that in a minute. It's actually really easy. And once you know the secret, right? And the secret is, so here's one of the secrets of learning anything you want to learn, is take the task, break it down into its simplest components, and master the simple components. Right? Another principle, take the fear of failure out of the process. Make it fun. Another principle, learn in a supportive, collaborative environment. So get with other people and support and help each other. So here's how that actually manifested for me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate this for you up here as you do it yourselves. So what I realize is if you look at, somebody grab me, there's an orange ball on that table. Just grab me that orange ball so they can see it better. That's great, thank you. Thank you, yes. Okay, so can you see the orange ball? Watch the orange ball. Keep your eye on the orange ball. Just watch the orange ball. Okay, what is it doing? Right? All it is doing is this. And that doesn't look too difficult, does it? Looks pretty easy. So what I want you to do, right at your seat, you have your bean bag. We'll do it up on stage. We're all just going to practice one ball back and forth. Okay, fabulous. And hold on to them for a moment. So you are doing so brilliantly with one. I'm going to show you how to do two. And the secret of two is that it's a lot like one. So with two, watch. With one, I was just tossing it back and forth. With two, watch carefully. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I want you to notice what I am not doing. I am not doing this. No, don't do that. Do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See it? It makes, if you put a tracer on the balls, it makes the logo of a ubiquitous hamburger establishment. Right? You see the golden arches? Okay? So 1, 2. Now, to make this really simple, we're going to work with a partner. Harrison, why don't you come up and help me here? So, can I borrow your beanbag? Do you have a beanbag for me? And you have your beanbag. So watch this. I'm going to work with Harrison. He's going to be my partner. You're all going to find a partner you're going to work with in a minute. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to align myself around the vertical axis, which is a fancy way of saying I'm going to stand up straight. My knees are going to be slightly bent, and I'm going to be smiling like Mona Lisa. Okay? So I have my Mona Lisa smile, my upright posture. I'm going to have my two super cool FutureDocs bean bags right here. So my elbows are in close to my body, my shoulders are relaxed. And what I'm going to do is throw 1, 2, and I'm going to let them drop, and my partner is going to pick them up for me and put them back in my hands. I'm going to see if I can just let them go. Don't even try to catch them. Then I'm going to throw 1, 2, see if I can catch the first one, drop the second. My partner is there for me. I am then going to throw 1, 2, see if I can catch them both. If I did, yay! Then we would switch roles, and my partner will throw them both and let them drop. I pick them up for him. You got the idea? So everybody find a partner 2-ball practice, let them drop, pick them up, have fun. We'll do this for about 2 minutes, so switch in 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Have a seat. Thank your partner. Thank your partner. All right, awesome. Very good. Now, how many people were successful in letting both balls drop? Right? Did anybody find that you were able to catch one of the two? Wow, wow. Anybody catch both of them? Awesome, amazing, fantastic. Okay, now, did anyone find, despite careful instruction to the contrary, that either you or your partner did this anyway? So here's another principle of learning that can change your life. Because usually, the teacher gives an instruction and says, okay, I want you to do this, and I don't want you to do that. And then you get out there, and you're trying your best, and you do the thing that the teacher said not to do. And guess what? You probably didn't even know you were doing it until your partner said, hey, wait, you're handing him across. He said, don't do that. And then you say, oh. And we think of that as a mistake or a failure or something wrong or bad. And that's the reason a lot of people don't persevere in learning new things, because it's too painful. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to do what we think of as failure. But instead, whenever that happens to you for the rest of your life from now on, there's a magical phrase that you're going to say to yourself, and you can also say it to your friends when they're challenged in a situation. And the phrase is, so let's say the teacher said, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And the teacher said, don't do that. Don't do that. And then I get up there and I say, okay, I listen really carefully. I really want to learn. Ready? Okay, you ready for the phrase that we're going to say from now on? Instead of saying, oh my God, I failed. Oh my God, I did the wrong thing. Oh, I didn't get it. From now on, we're going to say, how fascinating. Everybody say it aloud all together. How fascinating. Because it is kind of fascinating, isn't it? I mean, your thinking said do one thing, but your body did something else. This is what we call the individual mind-body challenge. And the way you learn to make progress in integrating mind and body in learning is to shift into a witnessing awareness of the process. And with compassion and unconditional love and support for yourself, you continue practicing. Got it? Great, okay. So that's really good, because now we're going to learn how to do 3. Oh, wait a minute. I just detected what in my field we call a negative psychophysical preconception. So I'm going to give you another chance to react to my statement that we're about to learn 3. We're about to learn 3. Yeah. How about 4, 5, flaming balls, chainsaws. Okay, calm down. Okay, so with 3, can I have the 2 of you now? For 3, and may I borrow this one? So for 3 balls, we're going to get into groups of 3. I will be the juggler, and I have my 2 helpers. So remember, I said one of the principles is to create a collaborative, supportive learning environment. So here's my collaborative, supportive learning environment. With 3 balls, I have 2 in one hand, 1 in the other hand. We started throwing 1 back and forth. Then we threw 2 and let them drop. 2 catch 1, 2 catch 2. Now, the big thing I want you to get today, don't even worry about catching them in your first lesson. The biggest thing is to throw 1, 2, 3, and let them all drop. Your partners are going to pick them up for you, So you can focus on being aligned around the vertical axis, your Mona Lisa smile, making sure you're breathing fully, deeply right into your belly, your lower back, your ribs. All right, so then I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to throw 1, 2, 3. Partners, pick them up for me. Thank you so much, partners. Then, eventually, what I'll experiment with is to throw 1, 2, 3 and see if I can just catch the first one. I'm not worried about the other two because my partners are there for me. Then I throw 1, 2, 3. I catch the first two. Partner picks it up. So you see what's coming next, right? If I throw 1, 2, all I have to do is throw one more, yeah? Watch this. So if I throw 1, 2, 3, yeah? So if I catch that third one, 1, 2, 3, I just completed my first jugulation, right? Which is a major milestone in your life. So if you achieve your first jugulation, have a big celebration, but then you want to continue. You want to keep learning, right? So to keep learning, once I get 1, 2, 3, 4, it might drop. Partner picks it up. Then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Partner picks it up. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I'm off into an infinity of juggling. So groups of 3, 2 minutes. Drop the balls, pick them up, have fun. Don't worry if everybody didn't get a chance, because you get the idea. You have your super bean bags, so you can keep practicing for the rest of the conference. And then when you get home, you might want to get some tennis balls or even some heavier balls, because they're a little easier to work in your hands. If you can juggle these, balls are going to be really easy, because these are not symmetrically weighted, so they're kind of floating around in the air a little bit, which makes them a little tricky. But if you start with these, when you try these, it'll be much easier. So it looks like Hannah taught Harrison how to juggle. Do you want to? Awesome! Amazing, man. That's so cool. Okay, so, but what I want you to take away, a couple of really simple principles. Before you focus on the task, whatever it is, focus first on the integration of your own being. Have a little smile. Breathe fully and deeply. Bring your attention to your breathing. Posture's upright. And then see if you can recruit some friends. Make the task as simple as possible. Anticipate what the most challenging part of the task will be. And learn intentionally from what people usually think of as the mistake, right? So nobody ever learns how to juggle without dropping the balls. We did it on purpose so we get comfortable with it, and then they start landing in our hands. And most importantly, have fun, and remember, whenever it's challenging, what are you going to say? One more time, all together. How fascinating. Big round of applause for all my fabulous juggling helpers. Thank you.